Twitch is up.
Thought we were gonna go for like a rap there with Twitch is up, but all this I couldn't think of words fast enough.
That's a great way to start. What's up, everyone? How's it going? Hey, look, YouTube's up. We are live. Who are you?
Don't ask me. It's just some hobo you found out on the streets.
Some hobo. Well, do you know anything about tech?
We'll find out together.
We'll find out together. We're on this journey together. Welcome to the show, everyone. Episode 62 of Talking Heads. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rhett.
Welcome back.
Thank
buddy.
you. Yeah.
Where have you been?
It's been a long time. I was just thinking on my way. Of course, I think I did the inaugural episode of the new studio.
Yeah.
And then haven't been back since.
It feels like it.
So it's been about 2 months. No, 3.
It's been 2 months.
I missed October.
Yeah, all of October and all of November. Yeah, so yeah, it has been. Is this really only your second time in the new studio?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Yeah, that's about right.
It feels like it because last time too, I don't want to spoil the studio magic here, but we didn't have any of this stuff in front of us. It was just empty.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I got all new shelving, got a new tripod, got a new camera.
Oh, I meant the live studio audience.
Oh yeah, all them. Yeah.
Well, that's the best. But yeah, I was just running around like crazy. Of course, October I had to work, but then November decided to take a little trip over to Europe.
Trip.
I know. It was like almost a month total.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Yeah, I got to see a lot of stuff. Probably saw a little too much, but all in all, it was a lot of fun. But I'm glad to be back.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know you went to Spain.
Yeah, we started our trip in Spain for about 10 days, and then we jumped over to Italy, where when we were in Spain, we only stayed in Barcelona and did day trips from there. In Italy, we went to Venice, Florence, and Rome.
Nice.
And yeah, so that was like 2 weeks total in Italy. It was pretty crazy.
That's cool. Well, yeah. Good to have you back.
Absolutely.
And in, what is it, 17 days, we get to jump on a plane for Vegas.
Yeah, I know. I was just talking to you before the show started. It was funny just explaining to my boss. I was like, yeah, I got to go to a work conference. He's like, you just got back. I was like, so long.
Later, dude. Just this little thing.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, good to have you back.
Thanks.
And welcome to the show, everyone. What are you all drinking out there? I always love hearing what you guys are bringing to the show yourselves. You brought a little something. I brought a little something. So we've got a Benedictine Brewery Black Habit Dark Ale, 7.5%. And this is from right here in Mount Angel, Oregon.
Yes, sir.
A little hop, skip, and a jump away from us. And then we've also got Toppling Goliath, the Wheat India Pale Ale. This is I want to say it was an 8%.
I thought it was 8.5 or 9.
Yeah,
could be wrong.
It was up there. I thought
there was a lot of beers we went through down in your fridge.
Yeah. Why can I not find the ABV?
Because they legally aren't allowed to put it on there.
Apparently. Yeah.
Because it's too strong. So
I don't remember. Yeah, I can't find it. There's
only one. The dice tonight, baby.
There's only one label on this thing. You feel like starting with a pale or with a dark? Let's start with the pale.
Let's do it.
Let's start with the pale because the dark will probably be a little bit better once it warms up a bit.
You might not be wrong. Yeah, I did. It was just sitting in my garage, and I had one, and I thought, well, you know what? This is a little too warm. So then I put it in the fridge, but then I forgot about it. So it got too cold in the fridge. Just meant to chill it up just a little bit.
That's all right.
But yeah, what's fun about that is that there was a time where you could only get the Black Habit at the Mount Angel Oktoberfest every year. They've been brewing for several years now. Yep. I want to say like 4 or 5 years. But now they've got their whole operation settled where they're actually bottling. And I saw they had a case of this over at Barrel and Keg, which was...
oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was excited. Oh, and they have their other beers too.
Here you go, buddy.
Thank you, I appreciate it. They got their other beers there too, so... anybody in the area interested in trying it, get on over to Barrel and Keg. I'm sure you can pick it up other places too, but
yep. So this was sent over from one of my Patreons, Skull, over on the
cheers,
Discord
buddy.
there. So Skull, thank you very much. This is actually the first one of that batch that I'm opening up. So
can't even fit it all in the glass.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I love a pale ale. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is
It's
so
almost got
refreshing.
like a pineapple smell.
I was going to
to it.
say.
Definitely very, very tropical.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Good to be back. Cheers to you
everyone.
all.
All right. No hat, Rhett.
Yep. Who said that?
John did.
Oh, I was going to say. Somebody that knows me personally. Yeah, I was going to wear the hat, and I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to leave it at home.
CES, a work conference. We're going to be working there. We're not going there for fun. Well, not all for fun.
Yeah, absolutely not all for fun.
We've got some fun stuff planned. So,
and sir, if you're watching, it's definitely not fun at all.
And in fact, I have confirmed we will be broadcasting live on Wednesday from Vegas.
Yes.
So I found a location that we will stream from. One of the hardware partners that I talked to is gonna get us a table, get us 200 megabit upload bandwidth, and we're gonna come at you live from Vegas. I believe that show is gonna be 5:30 on January 10th.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's a 5:30 p.m. show, so it's gonna be an earlier show.
So get ready.
But yeah, get ready, get hyped. Let's see. I wanted to go through a couple of the beers that I saw. Decaf green tea, nice.
Oh, hey, good for
drinking
you.
Coffee, drinking water because I'm 15. Well, thank you for being responsible.
Excellent.
I hope it's great water.
Water is good for you.
That's right.
They even make beer with it, I hear. So.
Ooh, Founder's Nitro Oatmeal Stout.
Oh,
good stuff.
Hey, fun little factoid. When I was in Europe, the only American beer that I saw routinely was from Founders. So that was cool. Otherwise, it was lots of English beer and
that is good.
European. I know this is.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
Oh, that is good. Skull drinking a Crux Tough Love tonight. I've had that one. That one's pretty solid. Some more water. What camera do you use? By the end of the year, I will be going over both of my camera setups, but I'm a Sony shooter. Actually, the camera that you're seeing right now is... I just bought it this last week. It's a Sony A5100 I bought for a vlogging camera. My main cam is sitting back here, and it's a Sony, kind of heavily modified, Sony A6000. But these both have the same exact sensor, both shoot at the same codec, so color correcting between the two should be pretty trivial. You're going to see a little bit more of what I'm putting together here very, very soon. Probably New Year's Eve, this video will go live.
Fun.
So, but I've just been working on that. To PAX, we took a whole shoulder rig, and shooting on that thing was, well, Rhett can attest, was an absolute pain.
I got real buff.
Yeah.
Over the course of one weekend, got real buff.
Yeah, you had like first date arm is what that was, because you're flexing the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, but you were definitely granted a certain level of authority with that setup.
Yes.
We joked about that a few times, but honestly, you put that bad boy up on your shoulder and you walk the floor and it parts like Moses in the Red Sea.
Oh, it's amazing.
Ridiculous.
It's amazing. So we're going to be a little bit more discreet, more of a run and gun setup in Vegas.
Yeah.
But
nothing wrong with that. We're going to have a lot more work.
Yes.
So we gotta conserve ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, I think last year, I clocked 47 miles walked in 6 days.
Only 47.
Yeah. So get used to what you're... Yeah, PAX is about the upper body. This is going to be about your legs, man. We're not skipping leg day.
That's a lot of miles in a week.
It's a lot of miles put on. But good times.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I don't mind putting
And
in
what's amazing is you really don't feel it until like Friday or Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just going.
I think I'm ready for it. I mean, I just came back from Europe. I did everything on foot. We probably averaged 10 miles a day.
Yep.
So... And first week was a little rough, but I've been trying to keep on it just for CES. So we'll see.
Well, you're more in practice than I am then. All right, let's get over to some beer news. So first and foremost, if I can get my link to open there we go. It's on you, actually.
Oh no.
So this these guys there.
Oh, how about that? Okay.
What in the world? That's not the.
How does technology work? These don't look like any
Freaking
stories
USA
that
Today.
we read. Oh, because it's cycling.
Okay,
I see.
so I'm going to call USA Today out here. So this is USA Today's webpage, okay? What in the world is going on? So I only have my DNS ad blocker right now. What? This is why people use ad blocker. What in the absolute living hell is this website?
Oh my... What?
Seriously.
What?
What in the absolute living hell is this website? How is this usable? How is this providing the end user a good experience? It's not. And in fact, about 20 minutes ago, this site, this USA Today site, got a malicious ad and brought up the your computer is infected warning screen and boop, 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 and had like a 250-second countdown and wanted me to lock out my machine. USA Today, get your shit together. Holy crap. That is awful. Sorry, I had to say that.
No, that was really bad.
So, oh, and by the way, in the 20 minutes since I refreshed that, if I go forward right here, these are all the web pages that USA Today auto-cycled through for me. So they're generating their own clicks if you leave the page on idle. So what kind of horse crap is that?
Well, and I want to know too, because they've got their subscribe now button plastered right across the top.
Yeah.
What happens if you do become a paid subscriber? I doubt the ads go away. You just probably don't have like a cap on stories or something, right?
Right. I'm surprised I didn't hit my cap just sitting here.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that be the worst?
That would. Literally just trying to read an article and the kid starts screaming, so you run downstairs and an hour later you come back and says, sorry, you've read your allotted amount for the day.
I would go and punch USA Today right in the nuts.
Anyway, so Younglings, the oldest brewery or one of the oldest breweries in North America, celebrating their 190th anniversary.
That's impressive.
And they are doing it by bringing out kind of a special beer. Now, they are going to be releasing over the next 6 months can designs from between now and April that will kind of walk you through the history of Younglings Brewing, starting with their 1829 cans when they were known as Eagle Brewing. As part of this whole celebration, on January 11th, they are going to be tapping a brand new keg in their Pottsville, Pennsylvania brewery that was stored in bourbon barrels for 120 days inside caves that were used to brew beer up until Prohibition. So in the 1800s.
That's legit.
They haven't been used since Prohibition went into effect. Yeah, so they're making a whole thing out of this where you can go to their Pottsville, Pennsylvania brewery. You can walk through the caves. You can get a whole tour of the history. At the end of it, you get to taste the beer that came out of there. And I think they were running a contest as well. Let's see.
2 contests will give consumers a chance to win during the celebration. You can now post pictures involving Youngling on social media with the hashtag #YounglingGoodTimes. What a bad hashtag that is, by the way.
Yeah, hashtag good time.
For chances to win.
Because no one's ever used that hashtag before.
Right, well, that's why they added Youngling to it, but
Yeah.
it's that's just no. You should have done anything. There was something better there. We could dissect that.
Have you seen the meme with Padme and Obi-Wan? I saw Anakin killing younglings, and he's sitting in the field slamming younglings.
That's a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of when I saw it. And apparently because the owner's name is Dick Youngling as well. So
Yeah.
We won't go there. Lots of fertile joke territory there, though.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, hashtag Youngling Good Times for chances to win prizes, including gift cards from Uber, StubHub, Uber Eats, and online movie ticket site Atom Tickets. Which, I only just discovered Atom Tickets like the other day. Seems better than Fandango, but yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, one of my patrons got kicked out of some of our internal channels. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there.
Well, he was auto-modded for all the horrible things he said.
Apparently. Well, no, because he just added me like an hour ago on there, and my whole Discord refreshed because I had to reaccept my 18 and over policy for my for one of our beer channels. I don't know if Discord's just having problems, but that was weird.
That is weird.
So. Anyway, yeah, so cool happenings over at Young's Brewery.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
190 years old. That makes it older than the country of Italy, which I was just there. So I have lots of Italy facts. Sorry.
Okay, what else do we got? Sorry, I got too many. So I have a 27-inch 1440p monitor here, and it's split into quadrants for my stream because I only have the one monitor to stream on. And all of the stuff that I have to read in the middle of this is on one quadrant. So I'm literally using a 720p display to read notes here. Okay. There we go. So Colorado, as well as leading the nation in getting baked, now they can finally drink the same beer that we do.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Colorado. Now we get to open our arms.
You know, sometimes I feel as though more so than any other state, more so even than Washington, Colorado has more in common with Oregon, you know, and vice versa than like any other state.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that just because of weed and beer now. Lots of reasons. The outdoors are strong there, and other things. But,
the skiing culture, obviously.
Skiing culture.
Yeah. So anyway, Colorado is overturning a many decades old law on New Year's Day. As of New Year's Day, you will be able to buy beer stronger than 3.2% at any grocery and convenience store. So I did not know that about Colorado.
No.
No
wonder they passed marijuana so fast.
But yeah, anything over 3.2%, you had to go to a specialty store, to a liquor store. And they are repealing that.
Good
which
for
is
them.
Fantastic.
That's going to be a fresh new market, hopefully, for some big brewers.
Yeah. I know there's quite a few, actually, really good breweries out of Colorado. So I'm sure they've got to be excited about a little bit better access and easier access to their customers and consumers. So
interesting. And not only the grocery store, but apparently reading on in the article here, that the law will also now allow all types of alcohol into their state parks, which I guess up until this point was limited just to the 3.2% alcohol beer.
Right.
And also, I guess, when actually that's kind of a big one if you think about it. Lots of us, at least if you live in a place where the outdoors are popular, you want to be able to take a 6-pack of beer to the state park
absolutely.
for barbecue or camp.
That's how I spend Memorial Day.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. And also, it looks like, too, that some grocery stores are going to be able to start selling liquor and wine. So, hey, good for you guys, Colorado.
Well, they're actually ahead of us there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Our grocery stores can sell wine, and they opened it up to spirits, but spirits less than 20%, and only then a couple of certain spirits. Like, I can buy Irish cream and a couple other very lightweight spirits at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Like Costco recently got Irish cream next to us. But I can't buy anything really
can't
over
buy whiskey. Can't buy
anything like over 18% or something like that.
So it's a little bit of a bummer. I guess they have their reasons, but whatever. It's just kind of a way of life now at this point. You
right.
know, like you hardly ever think about it until you leave the state and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're walking through Safeway and you go, hey!
Yeah.
I will take that bottle of gin on the way through.
Or you go to Costco in another state and you're like, what?
I do drive up to Vancouver occasionally to buy liquor at Costco.
Good for you. That's smart.
Yep.
That's always what we do.
I've even made a California trek specifically for buying liquor.
That's what we used to do for Reno.
Yeah.
You just come back because the taxes on spirits are so low in Nevada.
Yep.
You just stock up and come home.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is done.
That's right.
Excellent. Well,
yeah, if you guys want to buy me a Christmas present, P.O. Box is down there. Send me a local spirit or a beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Send me one too, to his P.O. Box.
That's right.
Just address it to me.
If you put Rhett's name on it, I'll make sure he gets some of it.
Yes.
Make sure he gets to try it.
At least.
At the very least.
At least one little swill worth.
That's right. 3.2% isn't considered beer. We call it soda. Exactly. I'm in Oz drinking a TED 4.4%.
Nice.
Nice. I'm assuming Oz is Australia. I'm assuming.
Don't look at me. I was hoping that you knew.
I'm in Oz. I'm assuming you don't mean along the Yellow Brick Road.
Well, hey.
Very well could.
Maybe that beer's a little stronger.
I'm not that familiar with geography. Yeah. Drake, that sucks. I get 120 proof spirits at my grocery store. Yeah, see, I can buy those anywhere else. And we have some really, really good liquor stores around here.
Yeah. They're becoming better. Like, we're getting, like, almost specialty, like, liquor stores, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the one in Keizer is amazing.
Keizer's really good. I moved out there finally by the liquor outlet in South Salem.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a really great one,
That's a really good one, too.
They have such a
I don't
good
get to make
selection.
it there very often because they're way...
Well, it's out of the way.
Yeah, it is.
But it's on my way home from work, which really works out well for me.
There you go.
And plus they got a little bit of everything there. So you can go in and kind of make it your one-stop shop for craft beer and other stuff.
Yeah, the Keizer liquor store is actually right across the street from my UPS drop box, which is where my P.O. box is at. So I drive by both places on my way home every day.
Nice. Absolutely.
Yep, Australia, easier to type Oz. I figured. I was hoping I wasn't stupid. No, it's a country.
Yeah, I'm in Oz, the country.
I'm in Oz. Land of Oz.
Ruled by a wizard.
That's right.
That would be a cool country, though.
That would be a cool country. All right, on to some tech news.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. So, this one is interesting to me because I don't know what to think of this rumor. So, videocards.com, video cards with a Z, posted a picture earlier this week of supposedly the first shots taken of a Gigabyte, RTX 2060. Now, at the press conferences, there was a lot of speculation that only the 70, 80, and 80 Ti series cards were going to get Tensor cores. We're going to get RTX and RT cores. And it was speculated that the 2060 will be getting a significant CUDA core bump, but it was going to be a GTX 2060 and not have ray tracing and Tensor cores.
Right.
The fact that the rumors that I'm seeing right now are suggesting that it's going to have RTX, it's going to be a cut down version of a 2070 or maybe its own chip entirely with GDDR6. I don't know what to think about this one. Now, the specs are good. The specs are a significant bump from the CUDA core count. We're looking at 1,920 CUDA cores, which is up from, correct me if I'm wrong, is it 1,280 CUDA cores?
Yeah, it was low. It was like 12.
Yeah.
1280.
1280, yeah. Yeah, because I know they started doing their CUDA cores based on resolution. So the 1050 and 1050 Ti were 640 and 768, which are easy numbers to remember. The 1060 was 1280. Then the 1070 got a little weird. Or no, that was 1920, and then the 1080 was 2560. That's right. But anyway, so the newest rumors are saying that NVIDIA is indeed going to come out with a ray-traced 2060 card. The only way I think NVIDIA would possibly do this is if they were going to keep Pascal series cards alive. Still sell the 1070 Ti maybe and the 1060, and use those as your entry-level cards, maybe cut those down to 200 and 300 respectively, and start selling this card at 400.
Yeah.
I think at that point it makes sense, because then you're paying for equivalent performance. This is going to match a 1070. We've seen the cards basically moved up one tier. And so your 2080 Ti, or your 2080 is what the 1080 Ti was before at the same exact price. Your 2080 or your 2070 is where the 1080 was before at the same exact price. And they perform neck and neck. We're seeing the same number of CUDA cores in the RTX 2060 that we do in the 1070. And my guess is it's going to be the same $399 price. And it's going to perform exactly the same. So interesting move by NVIDIA. Further confusing their product stack.
Yeah.
I know they had a lot of Pascal cores to get rid of, but this is still just a confusing move for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, and I can't even imagine, and that's the thing, with them announcing that it's going to be ray tracing compatible too. I can't even imagine the performance that you're going to have with ray tracing.
Oh, in ray tracing, because we know it's pretty terrible.
Right. So
I can ray trace at 768p. Let's go back to 720p days.
And I know a lot of the a lot of the outcry for consumers that I've been seeing is just talking about AMD's new card that's going to be coming out in the same at the same tier is just going to wipe the floor with this. So I don't know. You're right. It's a move that it's hard to see what their ambition, what their goals are with it. So I guess it's one of those things that only time is going to tell.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But the even more interesting thing is supposedly this is going to come out like January 15th.
Really?
Yeah. Like the week after CES. So not only is it going to come back like literally the day we land, but they know all of their reviewers are at CES. And so are they going to give their reviewers any kind of time to do this? Because our plane lands on the 12th back in Portland, on January 12th. If this is going to release the following Tuesday, I ain't working through the weekend. I'm freaking sleeping.
Yeah.
You're lucky to get like 3 hours a night in Vegas.
That is...
So
again, it seems like, okay, either they're playing four-dimensional chess and we're just not giving them enough credit here.
Maybe it could be.
Maybe trying to slip something through to the market without, maybe it's going to be a bad card and they're worried that reviews are going to...
Well, reviews are going to be bad because the reviews for the RTX cards were bad. And this is more of the same. This isn't different. This is exactly what the other cards have been, just one card further down.
It just, it kind of feels like they're backsliding a little bit, just trying to, well, time will tell.
Time will tell.
We'll see.
Anyway, 6 gigabytes of GDDR6, so you're going up from GDDR5, or in the new 1060, you get GDDR5X. So again, they've even further confused the market by increasing the speed of the existing 1060 and cutting down the speed of the new one. I don't know what the hell to think of NVIDIA right now, but it's just further proof that competition cures everything.
Yes.
Because you look at Intel floundering for moves and floundering for things to do with NVIDIA or with AMD right on their heels. I think AMD is going to be right on NVIDIA's heels here as well. Now, the rumors that I'm hearing is they're not going to compete at the 2080 Ti level, potentially, but they will possibly beat a 2080. No idea if that's confirmed. The sources that I've heard that for are shady, so that is not me saying that. I am not an authority figure on that. Do not start publishing this video out of context and going, Craft Computing said it's going to beat a 2080 Ti. The hell I did. That is just some of the rumors that I've heard. Who knows if they will materialize at all.
Oh my God, there's a lot of beer.
There's a lot of beer in here. Yeah, it's a full bomber.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see. Maybe NVIDIA...
And it is not getting any worse. That is delicious.
No. In fact, I think once you get down to the bottom of the bottle, even better. But I think NVIDIA needs us to be making their business decisions for them. So, NVIDIA, pick up the phone, give us a call. Numbers at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah. Yeah, we might be right. Maybe we're living in 2018 and NVIDIA's living in 3018. I don't know.
Well, it's just weird because I guess I've just never quite understood the marketing strategy for hardware like this. But it seems more and more lately that they have the wrong people just making the decisions for them. And I don't know if it's just the accountants looking at the bottom line or...
Next RTX 2030. No, it's RT 2030. It's not RTX.
There you go.
Yeah. Got to get that cinematic 24 FPS at 720p. Exactly. Is this real life? Yeah, wasn't 2060 supposed to be GTX? Yeah, it was. And that's just... RTX 2001, a GFX Odyssey. You guys are rocking it tonight. The entire RTX launch has been underwhelming, and I think it is. But again, after the initial reviews came out and they said, well, they're better than the existing cards, but they're way more expensive. We kind of said the same thing when the 8000 series cards came out, where they were, and I'm talking the 8800 GTX or GT cards. We kind of said the same thing when CUDA and rasterization or shader cores came out. we just want our OpenGL. We don't need anything accelerated. We don't need... Who needs shadows in game? Who needs realistic shadows in game? And now it's something that every single game and every indie developer has ever incorporated into their game for the last 15 years. It became the new technology, and it became the thing that everyone has and everyone does, and it made games look better. This may be another transformative technology. I don't know. But we do know that ray tracing is the superior way to render lighting and shadows. We know it is graphically more pleasing and more realistic. There's a lot more that you can do with a lot less horsepower once you have enough of it to actually generate that light properly. Is this going to transform the gaming industry? So far, no. But we don't know what the next generation... This might all be a moot point midway through 2020.
Yeah.
We're going to go, wow, every single game that's come out for the last 2 years now has been ray traced, and they look freaking amazing. And I can't even go back to play GTA 5 anymore because, oh my God,
so bad.
Did you see how bad the shadows look? Look at all the jaggies in the trees and all the... And look, that leaf falling doesn't have a shadow. We're going to start talking like that if this technology takes off.
We'll see.
We're just in that transition where we're kind of going to go through some growing pains first.
Yeah, and that's my question, though, is like, I wonder, though, if starting off on such a slippery note is going to be good for the technology. Because something that I was thinking about earlier with, and we'll get to the story later, with Google's Project Stream, obviously not the world's first attempt at, off-site...
Right.
Gaming technology like that, where you're streaming a game. I can't remember the service that it was before, but they tried something just like that, and it never, ever caught on. And here we are, 10 years later, just rehashing the same thing. So I wonder if the slippery footing is actually going to do more harm in the long run for the technology than good. I mean, how many games have you heard announced since we were at PAX, and we saw the first slew of games announced with ray tracing technology? Exactly.
Hasn't been one.
Exactly.
There hasn't been one. And only one of the originally announced 12 titles even made it to market.
Right. and I know that obviously...
two, because Final Fantasy 15 has DLSS enabled now. So that they have the AI portion of RTX cores for using the tensor cores to use artificial intelligence and machine learning to upscale from 1080 to 4K. So that's available now in one game. And RTX is available in one game, Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
But they had to severely tweak it and hamper it even further from what it already was hampered to make it a playable frame rate.
And not to knock the Battlefield series because, they have their titles, but do you even know anybody that owns that game and plays it?
No. I didn't buy it.
Yeah, me neither. And in fact, when I was looking up the list of games that are announced with ray tracing... I saw Battlefield 5 and I was like, I saw that before, but is that game out? And sure enough, it's been out.
It's been out.
And I was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah. It's been out for 6 weeks.
I don't know. It just feels not good for the direction that they want to move technology in.
Right.
I mean, it's great that they're developing the technology, but it doesn't really mean much for consumer market if it doesn't take off in the consumer market.
That's exactly right. Like I said, we're going to go through some growing pains if this technology lands. We've also seen the trends where we think it's going to be the next big thing and then it falls flat. We've seen, how many times have we seen that with virtual reality?
Yeah. Since the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't technically virtual reality, but he had the virtual boy.
Right. Yeah, you can go there. You can go Lawnmower Man.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Even better.
Yeah, you can go back to a 1992 reference. I had a friend in 1995 who had one of the 3D headsets that you could put on. It was 640 by 480 in each eye. And he could play Descent in 3D in virtual reality, and he could turn his head. And it was like a 20 frame per second. So as you're turning your head, it's going... It was horribly annoying and horribly inaccurate. But he could play virtual reality games. He had 5 games that you could play.
That's ridiculous.
Did the technology catch on? No, it wasn't there yet. And honestly, it took until the Oculus DK1 for virtual reality to go, okay, maybe there's enough technology here at a price that consumers can afford to start pursuing this. But it took 15...
It took a long time.
15,
and
20 years almost.
Even after the Oculus and everything, I remember just reading it. And I talk about this all the time. I'm so resistant to new technology. I say this all the time on the show, but I thought widescreens were a fad that were going to go away. Like, how stupid do you get? I know.
Okay.
I know. Could you imagine? And I just like, no, I can't buy anything other than like...
So are you a 4x3 fanboy or a 5x4? Are you more the 1280 by 1024, the almost square?
You know it.
Because that's where I was rocking. I love me a good 20-inch 1280 1024 screen. Or, yeah. So I had at one point 2048 by something. I don't remember what, 1620 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was rocking a Trinitron at one point that could do that resolution. That was pretty unreal. So, although I still really miss my CRTs where I could rock 1600 by 1200 at 95 hertz.
There you go.
That's what I miss.
Yeah. It's just wild, the trends, the way that they go. And I was going to say about VR, I thought VR was a fad pretty much up until the day I met you and I went and did VR up at the VR studio and I was like, oh my God.
It's here.
I was like, this is it.
Yeah. It's here. I can see it. I can feel it. It's not uncomfortable.
No, and it wasn't until I never remember the game, but the bow and arrow one where you're shooting the little dudes going.
No, just the lab.
Yeah, the lab. Thank you.
Yeah, Valve's the lab.
And I was literally just shooting arrows at guys, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most intuitive thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
In gaming.
Yep. You need to play Blade and Sorcery.
Oh. Yeah.
I have it. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing instead of making videos this last week.
Oh no. And going to work and taking care of...
I sat down on Monday this week and I went, I really need to shoot a video. But my headset's already hooked up. Seriously did that. So yeah, who knows if ray tracing is going to develop into a fully fledged consumer product that will actually be adopted by game developers and make its way in full, a la physics, into consumers' hands and actually change the way that we perceive graphics.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this with Steve a couple weeks ago, that we got to see RTX on Metro Exodus at PAX. And there's some really cool things there, but is it transformative enough?
You've all heard me say it. I didn't think so.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Despite my naysaying, I really do hope that it takes off.
Oh, absolutely.
I really do hope that it takes off. I really hope that it finds its stride. But yeah, I just didn't really see the appeal at this moment in time at PAX. Mm-hmm. But again, I would have never bought a widescreen if I could buy anything else at the store.
Remember in the mid-90s, they had those shutter glasses for doing stereoscopic 3D. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Trinitron, heavier than a modern car. Yeah. And then... LMDCC XL. 5 years ago, we had 3D glasses to watch TV. You take that back. I had that. I just got rid of that TV this year.
Oh.
I had a 73-inch Mitsubishi Diamond Series rear projection, 58 inches. It was 1080p, 120 hertz with 3D.
Yes.
I loved that TV. Loved that TV. But then the DLP chip in it died, and I didn't feel like spending $200 getting it replaced when I can go out and buy a brand new LG 55-inch 1080p 120 hertz for $350.
There you go.
So that's what I have now. As soon as porn ray tracing comes, it will take off. The porn industry rules the tech industry.
Yeah.
It rules the camera industry by far.
And
if it's good for porn, you'll see it on store shelves.
Why do you think VR is taking off?
There's a good reason for it.
I read an AMA on Reddit from a...
You've spent 7 hours in the Steam VR lobby?
Oh, no.
Only people with VR will get that joke.
I read an AMA on Reddit from a porn videographer who makes VR porn movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Shall
we call them short films?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Short films. There you go. And it was the most interesting thing ever. And he's like, He was just so nonchalant about it, but just reading about how he loved the technology so much and he just got a job that paid well doing it.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, as the porn industry goes, as the tech industry goes. Why do you think Blu-ray won? Why do you think VHS won?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Porn chose its medium, and the rest of us got to take those home. So,
Perfect.
all right, moving right along.
Yeah.
Didn't expect the RTX conversation to land in virtual reality porn, but
Well,
here we
it's
are.
me, so
Here we are.
you're welcome.
So Asus CEO has stepped down. Jerry Shen will no longer be the lead man at Asus.
And how long has he been working there? 20 years?
11 years, I think. Was it 20?
I have no idea.
11 years serving as CEO. Yeah, he's been with the company for like 20.
Oh, there you go.
And he
that's
served
what I
for
was
11. Yeah, served as CEO for 11.
It reads as a negative headline at first, but you read the story and you kind of realize maybe it's a good move for everybody.
I think it is. I think it is Asus moving on and trying to reinvigorate themselves before they fall off at all.
Yeah.
Where, and every company does this. Every company will go through phases where you're extremely innovative for a really long time.
Yep.
And then you go, okay, let's refine that innovation. Okay, we've refined the innovation. Let's just put this product out again because people are still buying it.
Yeah.
And you kind of start to stagnate. Look at Intel. Look no further than Intel to see what stagnation does in the marketplace. Once you reach stagnation and stop pushing yourself forward. In lieu of competition, you don't need to have competition to push your own self forward unless all you do is the easy way to make a dollar. Now, I'm not saying that Asus is falling into this trap, but I am saying that maybe they've reached a point where internally they're seeing, okay, we made all these new products and now we've refined what those products are, and maybe the last year wasn't great.
Yeah.
And they said we didn't come out with anything new. It's the same voices in the same echo chamber.
And they've been trying to tap into the mobile market for
They've been trying to really get into the mobile market, into the tablet market.
You'd never even think of Asus as something as somebody that you can go and look at their phones or their tablets for.
Who knew that Asus made phones before the ROG phone this year? I did, but only peripherally.
Yeah.
Like I was aware of the Asus Zen Tab, which is their 7 and 10 inch tablets.
Yeah.
I owned an Asus Transformer, which was evolution of the netbook, which was a Windows 10 based tablet, but it was x86 with Intel Atom.
And that was the one that was like, a 2-in-1 or whatever.
Yeah, it was a 2-in-1. Had a battery in the tablet.
Yeah,
had a docking station with a hard drive and an extra battery in it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's not bad. That's interesting.
It was a cool little device.
See, that was probably the last time that I've really looked at an Asus product. And let's see, 11 years ago, 2007, I guess, that would have been right when they were, one of my favorite names in the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you could go, at the time, now you got Chromebooks and things like this to dominate the mobile notebook space. But back then, netbooks were kind of the rage.
And Jerry Shen came out with the EPC. He was kind of the voice behind creating an affordable 7-inch laptop for people to take around that
and
didn't have to have great specs. It just had to be speedy enough to do basic tasks.
And that was the first laptop computer I ever bought.
You bought a netbook.
EPC, yep.
Nice. Did the EPC7, the Surf, the 2 gig?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Oh my god. What's funny too is I just dusted it off the other day.
Nice.
Just because I'm messing around with my workstation. I have this workflow program called Multiplicity, which lets me basically. It's a really great program. Anybody who doesn't know, you can basically use other computers from one workspace. Same keyboard, same mouse.
It's like a KVM concept, but software based.
Yes, exactly. And so I was just kind of screwing around with that thing because I hadn't even turned on, and it's. Oh my god, it's so old.
I have one of the later gens. So when I say later gen netbook, I'm talking like 2009.
Yeah.
I have a Gateway downstairs that I bought. I think I bought it on Craigslist for like $60. Because I needed something that ran XP because I had some weird program that had to run on XP and it needed to be mobile. And so I threw a 60 gig SSD into it. Dropped a 4 gig stick of RAM into it, and I ran that one program
Perfect.
on a netbook. So I plugged it into a monitor or took it with me. I don't even remember what the program was anymore.
I used to take this thing to work and play Civ 2 on it all the time.
But it was still a single core. It was one of the Atom, I think it was the N270. So it was single core with hyperthreading. So, yep. Yep. So Jerry Shen stepping down.
Yeah. And whether be replaced by two co-CEOs.
By co-CEOs, right. And they really want to push towards the phone market, make it more than just the ROG phone. So what Engadget says is we'll probably be seeing more ROG phones and fewer Zen phones, which will admit defeat with what Chairman Johnny Shih said as a bloody battlefield in his interview with Business Next. Because they've been trying to get into the budget smartphone market for a long time. With their Zen phones and carrying on their Zen line of laptops and tablets and whatnot into the phone space. And it's just never really taken off. I mean, even LG and a couple of the other mid-tier electronics guys are just kicking the crap out of Asus, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Because Asus should be up there with Samsung. They should be. But they're
theoretically.
Not. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Asus transforms into. Haha.
Ooh. What's interesting
Sorry, bad pun.
Is where Jerry Shen is going to. I guess he's going to be spearheading some AIoT company, which was interesting. That's the first time I ever heard that term. I had to look it up to see what it means. It's a combination of the terms AI and Internet of Things. Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things.
Artificial Internet of Things?
Maybe, yeah.
Artificial intelligence, Internet of Things?
Artificial intelligence of things. Intelligence of things. Yeah. It sounds like an interesting concept, and I think that Asus actually helped kickstart that. Oh, yeah. They have a 30% stake in that new startup. So clearly they don't, it's not like they're, I mean, I don't know, maybe that was part of his severance or something like that, but it sounds like they kind of have a horse in the race with his future.
Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily kicking him to the curb, but I think this is an internal...
Yeah, it's just kind of a shake-up.
It's their board saying we need to shake things up a little bit before we get to a point where we're no longer innovating, where we're not growing.
And I don't think anybody thinks that they're making the wrong move.
Right.
Just have to see what they do. I kind of feel like the mobile space is just not the right space for them, but
that's where the money is.
That's where all their R&D has been too. So more power to you. Mm-hmm. Like I said, 10 years ago, they were my favorite brand on the market. We'll see where they go.
I've rarely had bad experience with Asus mobile products.
Yeah.
I've worked with a couple other tablets. I've worked with, obviously, going back to the ebooks. I did have an experience with a version of the ZenBook that we bought. It was the X303, I believe. It was we bought 20 of those things. They were i7s. They were 1080p touchscreen displays. They were all metal chassis. Really, really nice laptops. Solid state. They had an Achilles heel though, and it was the left hinge on the display. So it was a metal chassis, but the inner workings of that chassis were plastic. And what they did is rather than securing the hinge down onto the metal frame of it, they basically did this plastic extruded mount with the little steel nut inserts that go into something, and then they melted them in. And then that was your screw threads. So they were metal threads, but plastic binding.
Yeah.
And if those laptops were in use for about 9 months, that hinge would literally explode.
There you go.
So
that is
not a single one of those laptops made it more than 18 months.
That's too bad.
So, yeah. Not that Asus is a bad company. Sometimes you just have a bad design, and that was just a bad design. But yeah, that's one experience that I've had with Asus personally. All right.
Yeah, speaking of bad experiences.
This
just makes me want to go punch Razer right in the pants.
Yep.
Right in their old fanny pack.
Yep.
So apparently, Razer is trying to incentivize their users into mining crypto on their behalf.
For them. And they're going to reward you with basically in-store loyalty rewards points, which you can use to buy their products.
Yeah, this is what's bonkers to me, though, is... And maybe I guess I just don't know where the work-to-benefit ratio is right now with crypto.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it just be more beneficial to just keep it for yourself?
Yes. Yes, it would.
So what?
Yeah. So Razer, what they're doing is they are having people who have bought their hardware. They're saying if you sign up for, what are they calling it? Razer SoftMiner. If you sign up for a Razer SoftMiner account, you can use your Razer hardware to mine cryptocurrency for them. And they've confirmed it is not Razer Silver, which Razer is also very quick to dispute is not a cryptocurrency. It's just something that we're mining that has some value. And these loyalty credits are handed out in the equivalent manner based on the mining power of the system. And in their estimate, a system with at least a GTX 1050 or RX 460 will net 500 Razer Silver, whatever that is, and can be redeemed for Razer peripherals, digital rewards such as games, vouchers, and more. So
here it is, though. You can get 500 Razer Silver per day.
Which has no monetary value.
Except if you compare it to... Here, the article specifies that the least expensive rewards would be a digital PC game.
Right.
And it costs 21,000 silver.
Yeah.
What? You can go to work for a day and go and buy that.
Right.
You can go to work for an hour and buy. Why would you... And here's the thing to me, too, is it just seems so... It's stupid. What a stupid idea.
Windows search. You can't see this, but I just opened Windows 10 search and I'm trying to launch the calculator. CALC, no results found.
What?
ULATOR.
Nothing. You gotta just use Google Chrome Calendar.
After CAL, it disappears. And by the way, CAL brings up calibrate display color.
Thanks, Windows.
Also in settings, it's calendar privacy settings and call history privacy settings.
Thanks, Windows.
Thanks, Windows.
They're like, well, Windows 10 was free, so we gotta cut costs somewhere. And the calculator guy was the first to go.
So now I'm just going to type into Chrome 21,000 divided by 500. Oh, look, it's 42 days. So for 42 days, 24/7 of mining cryptocurrency for Razer, you can buy maybe a mid-scale PC game, maybe $20, 10, 15, $20.
Yeah. Your electricity is more expensive than that.
Way more expensive than that.
So
let's say and they're saying GTX 1050 for 42 days is what gets you enough $5 to $10. A GTX 1050 full bore draws about 80 watts of power. So it is like leaving a really high power incandescent light bulb on. Or a halogen light on outside, leaving your porch light on 24/7 for 42 days. You're going to spend more on electricity than that.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's just not even worth it. And then to look like, okay, you're like, well, why don't I save up my Razer Silver and buy myself the new Death Adder mouse?
That's right.
Okay, it says here they don't even have values on it, but that calculating out roughly would take almost a year. Mm-hmm. But your Razer Silver, this fake currency, starts disappearing after a year. It's only good for a year.
Yep.
So if you can make 500 Razer Silver in a day, it's 365 days a year. Those first 500 silver you make in the first day just disappear on 366 days. So apparently there's a finite limit amount of Razer silver you can have, even if you save up on, save it all up. But what a stupid idea. And this is the thing. And
okay, so apparently if you have a GTX 1080, you should be about 4 times more efficient at mining based on rough calculations here. Okay, so 4 times more efficient. So that's 2,000 silver per day.
Sure.
So if we go 21,000 divided by 2,000 silver per day, we get 10 and a half days. I can buy a $10 to $15 PC game.
I think it's a little better, I guess.
A Death Adder mouse, what's $120?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's be generous on this. Just say it's...
So 21,000 is equivalent to, let's say, $12.50. So that's 1,680 coins per dollar is what that costs.
Huh.
Times, what do we say, $120 for a good Death Adder mouse?
Yeah.
$120. So that's 201,600 divided by 2,000 on a GTX 1080 would take you 101 days to buy a mouse.
Which I guess is not that bad, but...
But a GTX 1080 draws 220 watts of power?
There you go. Yeah. So again...
Or almost 3 times as much?
This is a slap in the face, and it's a first step in a company exploring new funding options. I guess, though, you're not mining their crypto or whatever. Who knows what you're mining, but... This kind of reminds me of the big debate in mobile game dev where you could offer a free game on the App Store and just plug in a little crypto mining in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 1 million users, crypto mining in the background.
Boom.
Well, you've successfully self-funded your operations, sir.
Yep.
Better than showing ads, better than whatever. But how ethical is that? In my opinion, it's not ethical at all, especially because the people that were doing it were doing it without your permission.
Yep.
They just thought, well, you're using our product and we're giving you an ad-free free app.
Right.
Right? That's exactly what you wanted. Who cares how it's paid for? Every time you press play, a kid in Africa starves or something, It's like the same concept. It's like, who cares? Anyway, I just think that's screwed up. And
that old game, if you press this button, we're going to kill one child in Africa. You won't know who it is. It won't be related to you, but why did you hit the button? It's no one that you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
some peeps are going to love that silver. And that's exactly right. Some peeps are going to love this silver.
Yeah.
And Razer's going to reap all the rewards.
Yeah.
And what's it going to cost them? $20 in parts for a mouse?
Yeah. Some peeps are going to love that.
A free
silver.
digital voucher?
We call those people whores.
Yep. A Razer jacket, which was made for less than $7 by Chinese...
Bangladeshi children.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. It's a move that doesn't cost Razer very much, and they reap all the rewards, and you get a little... Here, attaboy.
Yeah, you get a little carrot.
Yeah.
You're a freaking mouse running a maze for them at this point. You get a little sugar cube at the end. It's gross, and that's the thing I don't like about it, is that it reaffirms the idea that you're not a person. Mm-hmm. You are a statistic to them. And, it seems like a really harmless thing, but I think it's a first step.
If there is no cost to a product, you are the product.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with Google. Google doesn't operate for free. They make money off of you. They make money off your searches and off your advertising data and off your advertising potential. And they sell advertisements to companies based on what you search for. And they will target you based on your search history to make ads more efficient for their advertisers. That's how they make money. That's how YouTube operates. So if a product is free, you are the product. If Razer is saying, here, use your graphics card for 24 hours and we'll give you 500 silver, you are the product because Razer is the beneficiary.
Yep.
So.
Stupid.
Yep.
I lost a lot of respect for Razer.
Yeah.
Who, it's not like I was ever a huge fan of their products, but... they kind of dominate a space and they do it okay. Mm-hmm. So kudos to them. But
this is shady and it's...
And here's the weird thing about it too, is that
It's taking advantage of people who don't know any better.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And it's the first, and eventually we're going to be in a future where every single time that you go over to your grandma's house to take off that, to take off that toolbar and all that other stupid adware crap that she has on her computer, there's going to be like a crypto miner running in the background.
Very possible.
Which is just stupid.
Very possible.
So, I don't know.
Never underestimate the power of distributed computing.
Yep.
I mean, even some of the most benign adware out there and benign malware, if they get 30,000 users doing their bidding, that's a lot of horsepower. That's a lot of mining. So,
anyway,
moving on. Speaking of Intel.
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
Speaking of Intel, Intel had a press conference on December 12th where they kind of unveiled a little bit of their new plans for what they plan for next year. And this is a little bit of a departure from we're just going to bring 10 nanometer out and everything's going to be all rosy.
Yeah. I think it's a smart departure for them, considering that's been a long time coming and they've had lots of delays. And
they should have departed from that in 2017, early 2017.
Yeah.
They should have seen the writing on the wall and should have seen the engineering on the wall going, we're not going to make that. And of course, we're speaking about 10 nanometer. Intel's solution to that is stacking dies on top of each other. And the dies don't necessarily have to match fabrication process. So they can make a bare die that is based on 22 nanometer, a graphics chip that's based on 14, and a CPU core that's based on 10, and stack them all onto a single chip and sell that as a package. And boom, we have a 10 nanometer CPU taking all the computational advantages of that with much easier manufacturing processes in 14 and 22. So it is definitely an interesting way to do it. If you scroll down just a little bit further, there's a picture right there.
Here we go.
So showing basically you've got your monolithic die with its different sections on it, and then what they're doing is stacking modular components of a CPU on top of it with different die manufacturing processes. Kind of an interesting concept, and actually not that unlike what AMD is doing right now. Shockingly enough, Intel hired Kidori to head up their CPU division not that long ago. And Kidori is one of the main architects of Zen, of how Ryzen got here. And you know darn well that AMD didn't just switch from Zen to Zen Plus to all of a sudden Zen 2 is going to be based on chiplets, which is a 14 nanometer IO chip with 10 nanometer chiplets on the side, or 7 nanometer chiplets on the side, being very modular. There's a way that they got to that manufacturing technique. And it looks like Intel has taken a year, looked at the same thing and went, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, again, competition is good for everyone. And if Kidori wants to work at Intel for like 4 years and then jump back to AMD.
Please.
Yeah. They'd hire him back with open arms. So yeah, it's a really interesting way for Intel to get to 10 nanometer. The problem with Intel's 10 nanometer is not that they don't have 10 nanometer fabs. They do. Intel owns 10 nanometer fabs. The problem is their yield. They're not getting enough chips with few enough defects on them to turn them into a full CPU processor. And at the moment, Intel's entire process, from their GPU to their memory controller to their I/O to their PCI Express controllers to the CPU cores themselves, have to be in the same process. By splitting this down and breaking this down to say, okay, some of our lesser components can be on 22 and some of the substrate can be on 22, and we'll put the GPU on 14 because we're really good at that, and then we'll focus all of our attention on 10 nanometer CPUs, they can go from making a die that's this big to making a die that's this big and minimize the number of errors that are in that manufacturing process and be able to put those all onto a single chip and have them work. So, very creative thinking on this. I'm really curious to see if within the 12-month time frame that they gave, if they're going to be able to actually start churning these chips out.
Yeah, that's the big question.
That's the question, and that's going to determine how 2019 is for Intel. Is can they actually do this? Because Zen is knocking at the door, and it's not like Q4, it's like Q1.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So, The one thing that Intel has always had to hang their hat on is a Halo product. Boom, we have the 8700K, we have the 7700K, we have the 9900K. We have literally the best CPU you can buy for X process, and X process is usually gaming. So what that does is, yes, the enthusiasts will go out and they will buy the 9900K at any price. You put $600 on it, they go, well, it's the best one out there. I've got to have it. And so they buy that product. What about the people who are putting an entire system together for like $700? They get a $100 or $70 motherboard. They've got 8 gigs of RAM that they spend $100 on. Thank you, Samsung and Hynix and Micron for the RAM prices. They buy a GTX 1050. They get a EVGA 430 watt power supply. They buy a $30 RAID Max case, and now they need to buy a CPU. Well, Intel makes the best CPU, so I can't afford an 8700K or a 9900K. But you know what? I can get an i3-8100. And all of a sudden, the i3-8100s are selling like hotcakes because people are looking at that high-end CPU and they're going, well, they make the best. Obviously, this one's going to be better than whatever Ryzen's putting out. And that's how consumerism works. That's how Halo products work. That's why Lexus comes out with a 2-door hypercar that does 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, because it will sell lower tier Lexuses. Yeah. Same thing with BMW, same thing with all these supercar manufacturers. They sell a Halo product to get people to buy their lower end products to get a taste of what that good one is. Never mind that the 2200G kicks the pants off the 8300 or 8100. But
That's not what it's about.
But that's not what it's about, right? It's about that bragging rights, and really at that level, it's about that bragging rights. Well, what happens if Ryzen takes a Halo product away from Intel? What happens if Zen 2 beats the 9900K soundly and is $100 less? Intel doesn't have a Halo product anymore. No. And not only will the 9900K stop selling, but all their other CPUs will stop selling too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting for Intel. Intel's going to be playing catch-up at the end of this year. I know they're going to be playing catch-up.
Yeah.
But it's how quickly can they catch up? That's what I'm curious about.
Overall, though, the good news is we benefit. Mm-hmm. So thank you.
Competition benefits us all.
Yeah.
In the end result, we get way better CPUs for way cheaper.
Yep.
Imagine if there was actual RAM competition. In 2016, I bought 32 gigs of quad-channel DDR4 2400 for $115. Put that in perspective today. Let me get another glass.
Please do.
Some proper stout glasses going on here. How's chat looking?
It's looking.
It's looking?
That was a strong beer. Also,
that was a strong beer. That was good.
A lot of beer.
That was a lot of beer. I still cannot find the ABV on this, and I'm just finding that really weird. Because there's a Surgeon General. Live beer, please, or live beer, live beer, I don't know, something, please refrigerate.
Live beer, because it's like a shark on it.
Yeah.
Live beer.
Oh, no, it probably had live yeast in it. I bet that's what it was. Brewed by Toppling Goliath. You know, I have Google, like, literally right here. You'd think I would just type this in at this point.
this.
You got this?
Bro.
Tell you what.
Hang on.
So, Toppling Goliath Thresher. I want to know what the ABV was on this.
ABV of Topple and Goliath Thresher.
Here are some results from a search.
You're going to be really embarrassed.
6.2?
5.5.
5.5. What? I will say that was easy drinking, but it tasted stronger than that. I will say
I was gonna honestly. I was thinking like
7.5.
Yeah.
I was gonna place it 7.5.
All right. I hope you like this because I've been talking this beer up for a long time.
It's got a nose to it.
It does. Oh boy, I don't know how to pour beer.
Wow, Rat. You've been in Spain too long.
I know. I drank so much cheap beer in Europe. But the thing is in Europe, beer is so cheap.
Yeah.
First night I was there, even alcohol or wine alcohol in general. I had a glass of wine for what came out to be like $1 US.
Jeez.
And then, of course, you're eating tapas, so they just keep bringing out food for
Yep.
you.
We, the monks of Mount Angel Abbey, in the spirit of the centuries-old monastic tradition, are dedicated to the brewing of beer with a higher purpose. Using hops and pristine water from Oregon, we believe every bottle should be brewed to the glory of God. We welcome all to enjoy our beer in gathering of food and fellowship, nourishing both the body and the spirit.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, I will totally drink to that.
Yeah, what's fun is, as long as I can remember, you could buy this beer and there was always a priest on hand. And even now, they got a tasting room open in Mount Angel, and yeah, quite some head we got going on here. I'm not gonna be able to fill it up, but yeah,
Cheers, buddy.
cheers. It's good. It's crisp. That's the thing. It's like a dark ale,
Yeah.
so it's light bodied,
Whew.
a little crispier, like finish almost. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like a crispy body to it.
I need to get through the head first.
Yeah, yeah. You just got to get it all over your face like me.
Oh, I did.
Beer drinking ASMR. I'll make that video.
Yeah. Nothing but
Binaural beer drinking.
nothing but
Just the sound. Yeah, you get the sound of like, and then you're filling it up, and
it's got some noise to it.
yeah, it does.
Like I can still hear it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've been talking this beer up, and you know, I think unless I'm mistaken, maybe John's had this beer.
RTX on.
Maybe John's had this beer, but I know Steve went out of his way when they opened up their tasting room and went and got some because I'd been talking about it so damn much, packs and all that. So, this was always my go-to beer at Oktoberfest because most beers at
That's where I've had this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they serve it in one place.
I was like, I recognize the beer. I recognize where.
They only served it at one.
Usually Oktoberfest by about 3 o'clock. I'm kind of stumbling through the street.
You and me both.
Yeah.
They serve it at one of the gardens rather. It's at the wine garden, and most beers average about 5 tokens per, which is $5. But this is 6, and I work at Oktoberfest, so I get some free drinks, and they have the value of one drink no matter what you get.
Yep.
You can get the cheapest or you can get the most expensive. And I found this was the most expensive, and I went and got it, and it turned into one of my favorite beers. And one of my favorite Oktoberfests. I just went down there with my old man and sat there on a Sunday evening, and we went through all of our free drinks and all of our leftover tokens and drank only the Black Habit.
Yep.
It's good. It's drinkable. It's got a lot of flavor packed into it, but it's drinkable. It's smooth.
I'd almost call this like a German-style brown ale. If I had to,
I could see it
like
brown,
nail it down,
but it's a little
maybe more red. Maybe more red ale.
It is a lot more malty than a brown ale, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's a strong malt to it, but there's for those who don't know, Mount Angel's kind of our local Germantown. They do Oktoberfest every year, but even the buildings going through Mount Angel are very German inspired.
Even the people that live there. I mean, my name's Weisenfels, for God's sake.
That's true.
Which is a city in Germany. So.
Right. So yeah, it's a very Germany-inspired town, and they actually still speak a little German in Mount Angel too from time to time. But you can taste some of that Belgian ale, that Belgian wheat coming through.
Yeah.
Almost like the cloves off of a hef coming off of it.
Yeah, I can taste that.
Yeah. But very malty, very...
it's a lot of malt.
Lot of malt. If you're a fan of a malty beer, this is...
Yeah. And like I say, it is a strong flavor. And I bought a whole case of this. You know, I was telling you guys right after PAX. I was I bought a case of this. I'm ready to share.
Oh, that's so good.
And I have shared it with a bunch of people. And there are a lot of beer fans out there that I've shared this with that just don't like it because
Yep.
it's too much flavor.
It's a lot of flavor. There's a lot of complexity to this beer.
Yeah.
A lot of complexity.
And this was one of their first brews coming out of their brewery. And what I just think is so much fun is that, like they say it on the bottle, they are brewing in that traditional monastic tradition.
Yep.
Because back in the Dark Ages, man, that's how monasteries made money, was brewing. Because they could do it from the safety of their mountaintop fortresses. And they would brew beer and they'd drink it themselves and they'd ship it on down the mountain to sell to the local farmers. And this tastes like that.
Yeah.
It tastes like it came out the back of a wagon drawn by a horse sold to a farmer.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
It does taste like an English mead. Like that
Yeah.
real thick, hearty flavor.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is it's really light-bodied. Surprisingly light-bodied.
Yeah, it's not thick, if that makes sense.
But thinking of like how intense the flavor profile is
Yes.
of a really thick mead, of a really well-aged mead. There's a lot of complexity in this drink.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. No, yeah. It doesn't take much to impress me. It just takes more than a domestic.
Well, hey. I know. I saw when I was gone in Europe, Steve's giving me crap about my Rainier. And he's
Rainier almost died while you were abroad.
like,
They
wasn't
literally
here to
almost
keep-
didn't exist when you got back.
I wasn't here to keep it afloat.
Sales are down 70%.
What's happening?
What happened? Oh, that Weisenfels guy. He's over in Spain. Oh, shit.
Quickly now, how fast can we get a shipment to Spain? Not fast enough. Oh, God.
We can't afford the shipping, Jim.
That's funny. That is true. That did almost happen.
But yeah.
But I'm not going to lose sleep if Rainier disappears. That's the thing. Everybody gives me so much crap for liking it, but it's like I don't like it that much. You know, it's like I like it, but I don't know. Anyways,
Can I share a deep, dark secret with you?
please.
Okay. I really like a Mike's Harder lemonade.
What?
It's just good.
Why is that
It's just good.
Stark secret.
In the craft brewing industry, like this is an amazing beer.
Sure.
This is fantastic.
Sure.
But just going out and getting like a 9% malt liquor, oh, it's good.
This is my biggest problem.
Raspberry lemonade in a candied beverage, hell yeah.
It's great.
It's so good. At 9%, sign me up.
You pull that bad boy out of the fridge on a hot day.
Yes.
You're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, if I'm out like mowing the lawn for like 3 hours on a Saturday, there's two beers that I'm reaching for. One is like a Radler, like a 4.2%.
Yeah.
Really, really solid lemonade
Schafferhofer
style Radler.
Like, what's the company that makes the Shock Top? Yeah, Shock Top.
Shock Top, yeah.
they do a Radler.
Yeah, they do.
What's the other one?
There's
Not a
Widmer that
Radler.
makes a shandy.
Shandies.
That's
oh,
amazing
God,
as well.
Shandies are so good. Thank you.
But there's really like two styles of beer I'm reaching for. I'm reaching for a Radler, which is like a grapefruit mixed with a hef. Or I'm reaching for like a Mike's Harder lemonade, which is 9%, knock me on my ass.
Yeah.
Just candy in a can.
Here's my big problem with fandoms,
Yeah.
including the craft beer fandom.
Yes.
It's called gatekeeping.
Yes.
And they think
Thank you.
that if you can't name 32 IPAs and not half of them are your favorite beers of all time, then you're not a true craft beer fan. And that is not the truth. And this is why I openly admit to drinking and liking Rainier beer. Who doesn't have their go-to something like that? I love Mike's Hard Lemonade. You want it? Seriously.
Solid stuff. I like it. I drink it.
Go work up a sweat.
I don't like Smirnoff Ice, and I don't like a lot of the other
And
malts.
that's fine.
But Mike's Hard Lemonade, good.
It's great.
If I go to a barbecue and there's Rainier and there's Coors and there's like a Beck's or something like
Sure.
that, and then there's a Mike's Hard Lemonade, I'm grabbing that Mike's Hard Lemonade every single time.
Why not?
And twice on Tuesdays.
That's the thing. You go and work up a sweat. You don't want to come back and drink this. You don't
Yeah.
want to drink this Black Habit. Why would you?
Right.
It's
Yeah, this is not the beer I'm reaching for after mowing the lawn.
no.
This is the beer I'm sitting down to in front of the fire.
I was gonna say you put a sweater on, maybe grab a book,
Yeah.
maybe a pipe. You know.
Yeah,
You
this
get
feels
you-
right. This feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't a cigar beer. This is a sit in front of the fire.
Absolutely.
But ironically enough, a light-bodied sit in front of the fire beer. Usually those are like the thick porters
well, you know,
or
in that
stouts
sense,
or something like
in
that.
this sense, with the lighter body, it's almost more of like a Christmas beer, I guess.
Totally. This is a beer you could share with family and go, yeah, it's a craft beer. And they go, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. And being a dark ale, I tend to really like dark ales. I really like amber box and things like that tend to have a similar body to this.
Yep.
But yeah, man, don't feel... This is the thing. I'll defend you. I'm not even reading the chat right now because they're all like, what?
No, they're actually not, surprisingly enough.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Well, it's the people that'll watch the video later and they're like, this is outrageous. Unsubscribe.
Totally.
Which, I'm sorry, but it's the same thing. Craft beer has the same thing that Harry Potter has, that has the same thing that computers have, the same thing that... I don't know. What's another fandom that's kind of toxic sometimes with lots of gatekeeping? I don't know. I guess I went through them all. Craft beer, Harry Potter, and computer building.
It's 3 of the top 5 right there.
But it's all this gatekeeping where if you don't do it their way, then you're not a real fan. That's just not the truth.
Right.
That's just not the truth.
Yeah.
So you guys drink whatever you want.
What do you mean you haven't read all 75 books from the extended universe?
Right, yeah. Oh, you're telling me that you don't know Luke Skywalker's baby mama? All right, well, fine.
Yeah, I already know who Rey is because I know the whole...
Well, and I know that they said that the old expanded universe isn't canon, but if you read between the lines...
Yeah, they really mean it is.
You almost quoted somebody that I know verbatim.
I know fanboys, what can I say?
Oh my god. Anyway.
Star Trek? Yeah. Well, no. There's only just real Star Trek fans. That's not really a debate.
Yeah, here's the thing with Star Trek.
There's people who believe DS9 is Master Race, and then there's everyone else. Since John's not here to defend himself.
I was going to say, the thing with Star Trek is that there's not, like, super elitist
9:22 and we're getting off the rails.
Yeah, we are, I know. We don't have that many more stories to go through, luckily.
Yeah, we've got like 4, and only one of them is good. So
Star Trek doesn't have a lot of gatekeeping fans. It has gatekeeping fans, no doubt.
They're good. Yeah, totally.
But I think that they're not the rule, like it is for Harry Potter. And everyone's like, why are you aiming at Harry Potter? Because your fandom is toxic. So there you go. But
yep. And you can go ahead and roll Tolkien in with that.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Star Wars has it too. I don't know, man. I could go on and on and on because what I hate the most is toxic fandoms.
So well, we can cycle back. We'll circle back.
Yeah. Let's not worry about it.
All right. So CenturyLink. Speaking of crappy companies.
Speaking of gatekeeping.
Oh, very good, my friend.
Thank you. I'll be here for the next hour or so.
Speaking of gatekeeping a community from information at large and just enjoying what they want to enjoy. Wow, how well that conversation blended now that I really think about it.
Well, I was thinking about this morning. I was like, I got to work on gatekeeping and get really angry at Harry Potter fans. And somehow I got to make Jeff admit on
and then
live
he goes, oh, right,
YouTube.
and I'm going to be on the show.
Oh, yeah, and that.
So CenturyLink this week admitted to Utah customers that they were redirecting their web traffic to their own internal servers and making them acknowledge that CenturyLink has a filtering service that they can sign up for, and they blamed it on a state law. There is no such state law.
It's just amazing.
So CenturyLink blocked its own customers' internet access in order to show them an ad for their own filtering service, which they will sell you. So for an extra $20 a month, they will keep your children safe because, well, that's what you tell people in Utah.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone living in Utah, but Utah has a reputation, and one of them is, won't you think of the children? Sorry, it's just what it is. You have the strictest alcohol laws in the nation as well.
Family value state.
Family value state, exactly. So what was shown is if you actually go down to that Twitter post and go ahead and click on that Twitter post.
I can click on this?
Yeah.
Where at?
Up on the image. And then click on the image one more time.
Hey, look at that.
There you go.
Fancy.
So this was a mobile snapshot taken by a guy why are you seeing this page? Dear Utah customer, your internet security and experience is important to CenturyLink. The Utah Department of Commerce, Division of Consumer Protection, requires CenturyLink to inform you of filtering software available to you. This software can be used to block material that may be deemed harmful to minors. Keep our children safe. CenturyLink's At Ease product is available here, CenturyLink.com/home/ease, and provides the ability of such software. Also, information regarding the options available to you can be obtained from the product descriptions found at da-da-da-da-da-da. Specifically, the PC Security by Norton section shows that parental control option level that provides you with the capabilities and tools to block any material you deem harmful to minors. If you have any questions, you may visit the Utah Department of Commerce Division of Consumer Protections, found at consumerprotection.utah.gov. Thank you for being a valued CenturyLink customer, and please click OK to exit this message. End quote. The Utah Department of Commerce requires no such message to be sent to internet subscribers of the great state of Utah.
I have my personal feelings reading this. Maybe I'm wrong. But this is the first testing of the limits of net neutrality. Or rather, now that the net neutrality has been repealed, CenturyLink is the first ISP to test the limits, to throw a pebble into the water to see what happens.
That's exactly right. And do it in a state that's not going to complain.
Yeah.
That's why they chose Utah. There's a reason Utah was circled on their map and go, we're going to offer our filtering service to Utah and make them click an acknowledgement that they know it's available before they can do anything else on the internet, because they are the least likely to complain about us advertising a filtering service.
How much does our filtering service cost? Does anybody know?
Like 10, 15, 20 bucks. It wasn't inconsequential.
That's a lot of money for something that, like,
it wasn't like for $3.99. It wasn't an in-app purchase.
If you really care about kids, that would just be like a free thing,
right?
Like, because it wouldn't cost you anything,
right? So here's where it crossed the line, because I've seen ads injected by some cable companies. Luckily, my cable company doesn't or values net neutrality, and they've vowed to follow net neutrality. And they said, we will never inject ads, we will never redirect traffic, we will never block traffic unless we are lawfully required to do so.
Good for you.
Right, unlike yours, which is Comcast.
Yes.
Yes.
I used to have Wave.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yep.
Shoot me.
So my internet service provider, aside from having crap infrastructure out my way, is devoted to net neutrality. And Wave Broadband, thank you. Thank you for keeping your consumer interests at heart. Comcast, on the other hand, and we'll just aim the arrows straight at CenturyLink for this conversation. They did more than just a DNS redirect. They did more than just, they're trying to get to Google. Let's let them know that internet filtering is available to them. They blocked all traffic. They had a drop all until you clicked acknowledge. And that's the problem.
Right. People who had ad blocking set.
And I'll say even a DNS redirect is a problem. Even a DNS intercept is a problem. But what they did is there was a guy in the middle of... what was he doing? I read it in the article.
Don't know. Sorry.
There was a guy in the middle of an SSH session. Sorry. Don't know why that slipped my mind. There was a guy in the middle of an SSH session. It stopped his SSH session and dropped traffic. SSH is not dependent on DNS as a service. SSH is a direct IP connection. And in fact, once that connection is established, there should be nothing that the ISP can do with DNS that will block that connection.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of a secure connection to his work, and his connection dropped. Just straight up dropped. And he went to his TV, and he turned on his TV, and what do you know? YouTube won't connect, and Roku won't connect, and da-da-da-da-da-da. It wasn't until he brought up his smartphone and tried to go to a website on his Wi-Fi and started diagnosing it that he was redirected to CenturyLink's acknowledgement page that said, hey, did you know filtering service is available on your internet connection? Think of the children. For just $20 a month, we can keep your kids from seeing pornography. Please click OK to acknowledge this message. He clicked OK, and his SSH session was restored. That is such absolute garbage. They literally blocked his internet connection until he said, yeah, I accept. Literally blocked it.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Right.
That's
So
the best
so
word
that was
for
not
it.
Comcast injecting ads. That was not Microsoft saying, hey, I see you're trying to download Google Chrome. Have you tried Microsoft Edge yet? Which Microsoft still screw you. This was
I don't know, man. Edge is pretty great. Have you gave it its fair shot yet?
I'm taking you to Vegas?
Hey, satire. It's the sharpest comedy out there. I was playing somebody who isn't going to CES.
Thank God I booked your plane ticket. So anyway, yeah, this was far from a DNS redirect or injection of ads or something like this. But this was straight up denial of service to a paying customer until they acknowledged that you offered them an additional paid service. That is absolute horse crap. That is absolute crap from the top down. CenturyLink, I'm embarrassed for you, and I'm downright ashamed of your business practices.
Yeah. Sorry. You shouldn't have given me this ability if you didn't want me to.
Yeah. By the way, we can chat back now. That's part of our new all-in-one chat program. Is you actually send to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which is amazing.
So Twitch isn't going to have any idea what I'm talking about.
Right, right. You'll respond and Twitch goes, what the 4 users on Twitch go, what the hell? What are you talking about?
But anyway. Yeah, it's really dark because this is truly the first step. Like when you are watching Terminator and
The 2 users on Twitch went, we have no idea. Nope. Nice.
I'm glad that worked out. But this is literally like when you're watching Terminator and it's in the future and Kyle Reese is here and he's like, you don't understand. When Skynet gets turned on, it's all over. And this is like that first step. Not Skynet being turned on, but the first step of net neutrality truly and well being gone. Even though the battle's not over. But
I would go not Skynet. I would go corporations and idiocracy.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some strong parallels there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl's Jr. has found you were an unfit parent. Please deposit your child in the Dropbox.
What's amazing is how like that movie was such a dark horse when it came out.
Hey man, can we go to Starbucks? Do you think we have time?
What a good movie. The problem is this whole year has just been
I'll take 2
idiocracy.
cappuccinos, please. Yeah. Yep. So, it's 5 now. We have 5 on Twitch.
Hey!
Excellent.
Hey!
Welcome aboard, everyone.
And I didn't even have to take my shirt off.
I love how all 5 of them went, hey, I'm watching!
Wait a minute now. Don't forget about... Oh, they do want me to take my shirt off. Dang it all! I thought we were above that.
I guess. Oh, we're off the rails.
That is a good point. Because we got a couple of stories I would have loved to get to. Not this one. This one is not the best, but we can get to it anyways.
We'll get to it. Yeah. If you want to get to the other 2 first, we'll...
It's up to you. Your call.
No. If you're not feeling this one, we can skip and we'll loop around to this. Because this is funny, but I know you didn't have high opinions of this story in the first place.
Let's hit it. Let's hit it.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
let's dive in.
Look, my journalistic integrity is above that.
Okay. Well, so is mine, but I think there's some interesting... It does take place in the tech space because it is gaming. It is entertainment, which we do touch on from time to time.
I just think that it's just so boring.
Can you copyright a dance?
You can. It's already been done, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's been done.
It's just... Dude, this is pop culture. Mm-hmm. This is the influence you've had on the world.
Right.
Time to accept it.
Right.
That's gone out into the world.
This is going to be an interesting debate because I'm slightly on the other side.
That's fine.
Let's get into it.
And that's the thing.
Let's
You're
get
not
into
totally wrong.
That's right.
So here it is. Alfonso Riberio Ribeiro. I don't know.
Ribeiro. You got it right the first time.
Anyway, gentleman who
Carlton.
played Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's suing Fortnite and, of course, NBA 2K Epic for stealing the Carlton Dance.
Right.
Now, if this is... He just needs to go ahead and go back in time to every single person that's ever done this dance ever and sue them too.
I will hit you with point counterpoint.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Carlton Dance is ingrained in pop culture.
Yes.
Fresh Prince, 92? Something like that came out.
Yeah.
So the Carlton Dance is ingrained in pop culture. We know the dance as the Carlton Dance.
Absolutely.
It is very recognizable. There's one person who does it right, and that's Carlton himself.
Yeah. But
Okay.
there's a reason we don't call it the Alfonso.
Right. We don't call it the Alfonso. We call it the Carlton. And that brings up part B of my discussion, which is who actually owns the dance. Is it the creator of the dance, or is it the employer of the person who created the dance at the time the dance was created on their program? But that's a different discussion. What I want to talk about now is Alfonso creating the Carlton Dance, and does he have rights to it? Now, you brought up that, okay, well, let's go back and sue every single person who's ever done the Carlton Dance, to which I say, hold up.
Yeah, I was being a little facetious, and I don't necessarily agree with that point,
Right,
but-
to which I say, hold up, because fair use does exist. Fair use, you are allowed to reference pop culture while still putting your own spin on it. And that's a fine line, and it depends on how you argue that to a judge, whether or not you'll get the ruling in your favor or not. It really does. It's down to the individual judges who say, well, yes, you obviously infringed on the Carlton Dance. Here's $10,000. Versus, wow, that's pop culture. No one knows the Carlton Dance. It's 4 moves. It's pretty simple. Deal with it. What I will say in which Fortnite crossed the line is they are selling the Carlton Dance individually as the Carlton Dance. The dance is called Fresh, so they're making a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference
Okay.
in the sale page of the Carlton Dance.
Okay.
You buy the emote, which is your dance move, however you want your Fortnite character to dance. Whether you want them to floss, a la 2milli, which is also suing Fortnite, Epic Games, or you want them to dance like Carlton, doing the Fresh Dance. Here's the problem, is Epic Games rendered the Carlton Dance to the character, and then is selling that dance individually for $2 a piece. You pay $2 for your character to do the Carlton Dance. That's where I have a problem. Is they are not selling Fortnite and it's some weird, obscure Easter egg within the game. Yeah. It is not, you get to the end of League of Legends and the main boss does his little, thing. Because the Carlton Dance is all through pop culture.
Yeah.
It's been in dozens of games. It's in Uncharted. It's in Doom. It's in a lot of different popular games. Those were baked deep within the games and were Easter egg references to the Carlton Dance. Whereas Fortnite Epic Games has said, we're going to sell you the product, the Carlton Dance, and only the Carlton Dance for $2. Where does it cross the line from fair use pop culture into we are monetizing your likeness? And again, it probably depends on how you argue it.
Yeah. And you bring up...
Disarmed!
You bring up all points that I agree with.
Yeah.
And my position is, I think, just inherently the weaker position anyways. And I don't disagree with you.
And I don't necessarily disagree with your point either, but go ahead and...
I just think that... And my opinion of this, of course, is painted by the fact that TMZ is reporting.
Right.
I hate gossip. And
so do I.
This feels so gossipy.
Especially celebrity
gossip.
There's nothing I like
and
least.
That's the thing. It feels so gossipy, but also like on Alfonso Ribeiro's side as well. He's like, oh no, I've lost I've lost fame or I've lost whatever. Let's go after this one thing that's keeping me relevant, And that's the thing. I guess you're welcome to do it, but did he create the dance? That'd be my number one question. And even if he did create it, this is the thing that comes up a lot in certain fields is like, even if you did create it, you were employed by somebody to create something.
Right.
And, and I guess, I don't know where I'm going with this, but ultimately it just feels so shallow. Is he entitled to do it? I guess so, but that's the United States for you.
Right.
We're just built on all these shallow, weird things. Should Epic have packaged it up and sold it as a $2 fresh dance? I don't know. That seems pretty shady as well. It could just be that they're not thinking, and that this lawsuit is there to redirect their thinking to the proper mode, which is maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Which is entirely appropriate.
If you want to sell the Carlton Dance for $2, go right ahead, but give 30 cents to Carlton, the guy that you're referencing, and the guy whose likeness you're banking on, and
maybe
and that's at the heart of copyright.
And maybe maybe this is a lesson you should call him up first.
Right.
Hey man, we were really hoping to use your dance. Can we get your blessing on this?
Right, we're huge Fresh Prince fans.
Yeah.
Tell you what, we'll cut you in for a licensing deal, 10 cents of every transaction.
Yeah.
And boom, no problem at all.
And maybe that's what he's going for. He's like, I just wanted 10 cents.
Right. And the thing is, and like I said, I have no problem with fair use as far as a dance.
Yeah.
Copyrighted or not, that's another argument entirely. Can you copyright a dance? I think you can, but it's really shaky ground.
It just, to me, there's so many weird things that this brings up, and the dance is the least of which, because the dance is a weird thing, but like,
but it's a recognizable thing,
right?
And it's a recognizable thing to him, to something that he has marketed himself before as his own personality, as his own brand.
Yeah.
And so again, where does a dance become Carlton become Alfonso? And
that's true, because the Carlton was featured on Dancing with the Stars.
It was.
The one season of Dancing with the Stars I watched was with him, and it was a real joy to watch. I got to admit it. It was fun. And he did the Carlton in one of the dances, and everybody went nuts. Everybody went nuts.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to, like, I rarely
because
ever watch
every
these
single
moments.
time you watch Dancing with the Stars with Alfonso, you're going, "Where's the Carlton? Where's the Carlton? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Where's it at? Where's
that
it?"
That is the question.
And
you're
asking. It's like a baseball game where you're sitting on the edge of your seat until the 9th inning, and then all of a sudden in the 9th inning he hits a solo home run to win the game.
Yeah,
he had that in his back pocket the whole damn time,
exactly
and he freaking knew it.
like. Yeah. But here's the thing, like, what, if they created the emotes that were like "eat my shorts,"
right,
like or "dough" or something like,
right,
would the Simpsons be suing?
Right.
I don't know. I guess they're
and again,
to sue.
Are you making a reference to something, or are you selling it directly as your own product? And again, it depends on how you yourself market it. Yeah. And the problem with Fortnite is it's a free game. Fortnite is not making money directly off the sale of Fortnite. They're making money off the sale of in-game purchases, one of which is the Carlton Dance.
Yeah, yeah.
And so where do you draw that line at? And so the fact that the Carlton is in League of Legends and Team Fortress 2 and
here's the weird thing about it, though. And this just irks me a little bit. Because I was like, you know what? Jeff's making a lot of good points. And not that I disagreed with you inherently. No, absolutely. But here it is.
I'm not 100% right either.
Alfonso claims that he's also currently in the middle of copywriting the dance.
Right.
Bro, you didn't even have it copyrighted before this?
Because copywriting a dance is a difficult thing. You have to prove to the courts.
Unless he's been copywriting it since 1998.
The thing is, copyright is retroactive, though. Now anyone who's done it in the meantime has rights to do that, or you can send a cease and desist later on saying, "Sorry, I'm claiming the original rights to this from 1992. I know you've been doing it since then, but you need to stop because I'm the original creator of this." Alfonso has also come out and said he created the dance based off of Eddie Murphy's White Guy Dance and the Courtney Cox Dancing in the Street with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
He kind of combined those two moves into one move and made it his own, but he truly did make it his own because it's not called the Courtney or the Cox or the Eddie Murphy. It's called the Carlton.
Absolutely.
And again, in pop culture, we know it as the Carlton. If I say the Carlton, you know what that dance is and you know what face is doing it.
And I guess I shouldn't be so opposed to a big game studio like Epic being knocked down a peg. I mean, they can afford it. That's fine. And I guess truth be told, that the way Epic went about it is the exact opposite way I would have went about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'd like to think, even if I was as big as Epic, I would have my current small town principles, which is, let's send them an email and at least
acknowledge.
At least be like,
Hey, bro, we're big Fresh Prince fans over here. We love the Carlton Dance.
Yeah.
We would love to incorporate that reference into the game. Are you on board or not?
And that's exactly how I would do it. There's even been a couple songs I've written for my bands where we have done homages to other bands or bigger bands where we're like, hey, man, we're doing this. And I'll email them and I'll be like, hey, man, we're doing this thing. Like, do you think that's okay? And more often than not, believe it or not, I get an email and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Don't ask again.
Yeah.
And some of it, like, you wouldn't even be able to prove in court. But, like, one example, we took Napalm Death has the world record for the world's fastest song. And the song is called You Suffer.
Yeah, it's 270 beats per minute or something.
Well, it's also, like, really short. It's
Yeah.
and it's over.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are, and they found the like specific requirements for a song. You have to have X amount of lyrics, X amount of riffs, changes, and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's a song. That is a song.
Yeah.
And they go, okay. And then they wrote the world's fastest and shortest song. And so I wrote a song based off that song where I took those chords and I made it a really long song.
Nice. I actually like that.
And I emailed Napalm Death and was like, hey, what would it be cool if we did this? And I don't know if it was who got back to us, but somebody was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool.
Cool. Yep. So yeah, it's a complicated situation because we're getting into some really hairy trademark and copyright waters as far as when does a dance stop being just a couple of moves and become trademark of a person?
Yeah.
When does a pop culture reference stop being, oh, that guy who danced in the 90s to it's the Carlton owned by Alfonso, tied in with monetary licensing with a game and what does a game have rights to reference? And there's so many moving pieces and so many different arguments you can make. I can totally see both sides of this.
Yeah, it's rough. Because honestly, there's only a handful of dancing moves that I would be able to attribute to their creator. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson comes to mind, of course, the Carlton.
Yeah, you got the moonwalk and you got the lean.
But also like the Thriller.
Oh, Thriller.
I wasn't even thinking Moonwalk, but Moonwalk's the perfect example.
Okay, so I've got 3 to Michael Jackson and 1 to Carlton. That's what I've got in my head.
So we're saying is that the Carlton is on par with the best pop artist of all time. So, all right, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I guess he deserves it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So
I guess I'm just bitter because, as you know, being involved with game dev the way I am, I think it's always just seems like such a low blow. But Epic's not a small dev.
They're not a small dev, and they probably knew better. And that's my problem with Epic right now.
Or they should have at least.
They should have. Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. And the problem is that they sold it. Had this just been a dance included in the game, I think there's no problem at all. The fact is they sold the Carlton Dance alone as an add-on for the game for $2.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They are selling product directly related to Alfonso. And whether they're taking money out of him or not, they're profiting off of his likeness. And that's the problem.
Well, I guess they're not going to be knocking Valve down anytime soon.
That's the problem.
I was really hoping to see Valve taken down a notch with.
Boy, I don't know. Epic. Discord came out and said we'll do 90% user commissions.
Right, I know. I thought I was like, hey,
83.
Chump change.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I think that these extra stories are going to rattle the cage for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got a couple quick ones real quick.
Yeah, let's hit this one because I think it's a fun one, and I think it ends tomorrow. Everybody listening, I could be wrong. But I do think it ends tomorrow. Anyway, I can't find it in the story. But anyway, we talked about this earlier. Google Project Stream. Mm-hmm. This is a video game streaming
future
service.
Of game streaming, which I've heard before.
Yeah, I know. And we talked about this earlier, but this is interesting. You can sign up for the beta of Google's Project Stream, where you can supposedly run a game as as advanced as Assassin's Creed Odyssey on a Chromebook.
So modern AAA title on a $120 laptop.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And if you sign up for the beta and you are accepted and you can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey for an hour, streaming this game, and then you will get a free copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey for the PC.
Nice.
Free digital copy.
Nice.
I think it ends
I'm
tomorrow.
assuming through Uplay.
Yes, through Uplay,
Yep.
of course. Which, sorry, but, you know, what else? I mean, even if you bought the damn game on Steam, you're still going to be playing it through Uplay.
Yeah, after the latest things with Origin, I'm not installing Origin for some time.
Yeah.
Sorry, there will be no Battlefield 5 benchmarks on my channel.
No, sorry about that. Anyway, I can't find where... Sorry, I'm scrolling through
Although
here.
I did benchmark Titanfall 2 for like one benchmark run. I did do that with
Shame on
with
you.
a couple comparisons.
I can't find...
Well, I was trying to mix it up a little bit. You got to mix it up from time to time.
Yeah.
You can't always do GTA 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Project Cars.
Titanfall 2 sucks.
Whoa. I agree with you, but there's no need for such hostility.
First Titanfall was actually pretty legit.
It was pretty legit. Titanfall 2 was actually not a terrible game. I didn't not like playing it.
Yeah, I guess I never put the time into it as Titanfall 1. It just seemed that they do the thing where they're like, oh, let's make this way more streamlined, user-friendly.
Right.
Like, Titanfall 1 had a lot of different skills and things involved with it that I thought were a lot more interesting. Titanfall 2 seemed to take those away, but anyway, looks like...
Kind of narrowed their scope a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't end tomorrow, friends. It ends on January 15th.
Oh, so you got a little bit of time still.
So honestly, hop onto Google right now. Google Project Stream Assassin's Creed or something like that. You can find this. I'm looking at The Verge right now. That's the page that I've linked.
Sorry, Rhett picked this link, not me. Personally, I wouldn't have any Verge articles up. But
And I understand that The Verge is kind of shameful, especially...
it's actually written by Stefan. You see that?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even look at the author. And what's funny is that whenever... because I use The Verge a lot when
I am so ashamed of myself right now.
I know. This is my fault.
I don't want to hate on the guy. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't, but I have
What's
to.
really funny, though... What's really funny is, like, especially since that video...
I don't know, it's doing my channel okay.
I know, I saw that. That's what I was looking at. I was, like, looking at your top 5 videos or something like that.
It's number 4.
Yeah. Anyway, if you don't know what we're talking about The Verge.
The Verge PC build.
PC build, yeah.
You probably know what we're talking about.
Anyway, I still do use The Verge for tech news.
I will usually, if I'm Google searching for something and The Verge comes up, or if it's listed as the source article, I will search for another article that's written on the same topic.
Yeah.
Simply because after that article, they lost all journalistic integrity to me, and I don't really want to take what they say with any kind of merit. Sorry, The Verge, I'm sure you have plenty of good guys writing for you still, but that was crap, and you probably know it. Stefan, I'm glad you still have a job. That's fantastic to see.
Well, he's probably like a free contributor. That's the way he got away with doing that video, right? Like, he's like, here
That video is sponsored by Capital One. That was a heavy sponsorship.
All right.
Yeah, that wasn't like the intern getting a crack at the big time. That was a.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, Drake 53545 says. Google Project Stream works very well. I've been playing on it while watching you guys.
Nice.
So this is what's interesting. It does look like a good service to me, and I've signed up for the beta. I haven't got accepted yet. I'll tell you guys what it's all about when I play Assassin's Creed. But if you're interested in trying to get that free copy, all you got to do is sign up for the beta. That's right. And it asks you have a small questionnaire that basically asks you about. Oh no, I'm conflating that with something else. I think you just have to put in your email address and verify your email address.
Nice. Sorry,
I'm conflating that with some other things I did this week. But anyway, Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks great.
He's been out of the country for a long time.
Yeah, so. I'm not sure how things work in the United States anymore.
We drive on the right.
Oh my god.
It's weird.
I guess we're really lucky that it was kind of late when I drove here tonight.
Yeah. Not a lot of traffic on the road at this time.
That's confusing. The right side.
Right
So the opposite side that my steering wheel's on? That's
Yes.
weird. That
Yes.
doesn't seem to make any
I
sense.
know. Yeah, you're sitting on the line that other people are driving towards.
Oh, the line isn't to guide me?
You don't straddle the line. You have to be on the right side of it.
Okay. Oof.
Whew. Boy, you really messed that one up, didn't you?
I got a lot to learn.
Okay.
Well, luckily,
And,
I
and
thought
you can only have 3 of these before you drive home.
Oh.
So
Oh my god. Oh my god.
you probably
and I
shouldn't have the
thought-
6 before we started the show.
And I thought people were cheering me on with their sirens and red and blue lights on my way
Woohoo!
here too.
You're number 1, man! Yeah!
Keep going! I was like, yeah! I stuck
You
out
got
my,
this!
I was just gave him one of these outside
Whoop,
the window. Wow, that's really putting things into perspective. Anyway, Google Stream.
Project Stream.
Project Stream, sorry.
Google's Project Stream. Is this Alphabet's Project Stream? I'm
It
not
says
sure at this point.
Google's.
Says
but,
Google. Says Google.
That's
All
an
right.
interesting one.
So we all know Red Dead 2 is coming to PC because it is GTA 5 was such a cash cow for Rockstar. They're not going to not release Red Dead Redemption 2 to 30% of the population.
I hope they don't. Because I've been playing it on PS4 and it's great and I want all of you to suffer.
I bought an Xbox One so I could play Red Dead Redemption. Not even kidding. Now it's on the floor because I don't like it. But I bought an.
Wow, he's not kidding. He's
It's right
not
there.
kidding. Why'd you get an Xbox though?
Because I got it fairly cheap.
Not cheap enough.
What's not cheap enough?
You spent more than $200 on it.
Nope, I did not.
Oh, all right. Well, good for you.
I
then.
spent less than $100 on it
Oh, okay.
with the controller.
Well, I'll never judge you again for that.
There you
Good
go.
for you.
So I bought an Xbox One.
All right. Hey, kudos. I bought my PS4. I bought it used, and I bought it for $150
Now,
4 years ago.
now, unfortunately, in the end, that means I paid like $160 to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's worth it. in my
Totally
opinion.
worth it.
I'm in love with this game, and I've been reading so many hateful reviews of it. And this is one thing about gaming that I just disagree with: is this idea of gatekeeping, where the only thing of value that you have to say is something negative. And there are negative things to be said about the game, but
Not a lot.
the first day I played the game, I spent 15 hours playing the game, and that was on accident.
Yeah.
And that was, I turned it on and I'm like, oh, Jesus, a tutorial?
Yeah.
I almost turned it off.
Yeah.
Almost turned it off because I hate forced tutorials
Yep.
where nothing fun happens and you, oh, God, a walking simulator, not one of these.
Yeah.
And then by time you're doing your first little, like,
By the time you're off the mountain and
not
the
even
world
that.
opens up.
I was hooked by time Dutch is knocking on the door of that house in the snowstorm.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And then there's a guy sneaking around. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to shoot this guy, aren't I?
And then you walk out to the barn and you decide whether or not to kill the dude out in the barn.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
The game captured me.
So I decided right off that my Arthur's going to be one bad sumbitch.
You know what's funny is I decided right off I was going to be a good guy.
Really. And most people do. And what's funny is most people think that Arthur's personality plays himself to be a good guy. Play him as a bad guy. Literally just start capping people from day one.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. That ride is awesome.
It's very, very, yeah.
So I got the achievement for max your karma one way or the other, and it wasn't on the high side.
I haven't even gotten the high side. It's hard to get that high side one,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And that's the thing I've noticed.
Oh, it's hard to get the low side one, too.
Is it? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Maybe you're right. I haven't even tried, but I feel that the game steers you towards being the low side. And I'm having to try real hard to get that high side. I'm so close.
See,
right
what's
now,
really
but-
funny is people who are playing the high side, I heard them saying, boy, it's really hard to play to the bad side. I don't know how anyone could do it.
I don't know about that. I feel like
So here's an example that I'll give you, okay? Because Red Dead Redemption 1, when I was playing as John Marston, I really felt John Marston is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy caught in a
felt
bad
that too.
situation.
Yeah.
So the writing was amazing in that, where it really tugged at my heartstrings. So when I popped in Red Dead Redemption 2, I went, you know what? I'm going to be playing as a member of Dutch's gang. I got to be the most absolutely
Hardcore.
bad mother that's ever been there. And that's how I played the game.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like as a good guy, I feel like the hardest, baddest mofo in the whole world.
No. So I was riding through from like one town to another town. I was riding from Rhodes to whatever the wagon fence is, and at one point,
Emerald Ranch.
Emerald Ranch. Thank you. So at one point, I'm riding along, and this girl sitting on the side of the road, and her horse broke her leg, broke its leg and whatnot. It's just this big stop store, and she goes, "I need a ride. I just need to get to Valentine." And I went, "Okay, hop on." And I got about 10 steps with the horse, and I went, "What the hell am I doing?" And so I got off the horse, I pulled her off the horse, I hog-tied her, and I threw her off a cliff.
Nice. Nice.
And it's like, that was like the first moral conflict that I had, where I'm riding along, and it's like, oh, I need to help this girl. No, you're Arthur Morgan. You do not need to help this girl. You shoot her in the face right now. And that's how I played the rest of the game.
Good for you. See, I was like, well, there's women and children in my game.
There was still conflict.
Sure,
there's still conflict.
sure.
There are still times that I go, I don't feel good about doing this.
I had no problem at killing people. I don't even feel bad about it. But I play good because that's the harder choice for me to make in a game.
Yeah.
It's you play KOTOR, you play these games that have you go one side or the other, and doing light side is always harder than going dark side. It's way more satisfying and easy to just force your way and get whatever you want.
That's true, but in a lot of games, I always find myself trying to be the moral paragon, and I think most of us do. Most of us go through playing these role-playing games, trying to be the good guy, trying to be the guy that saved your family farm, and
I guess I can see that.
And whatnot. I mean, that's how I played Mass Effect. That's how I played Skyrim. That's how I played a number of different moral dilemma games. However, when I played Mass Effect, when I replayed Mass Effect, and I went through, and my guy Shepard was a really good guy. He was always the shoulder to cry on, and didn't
Super
supportive.
To sleep
with Ashley. And
he tried to sleep with Caden. That's right.
Absolutely slept with Caden. It was the blue chick. Yeah, it was the gender neutral
the
one.
Asari.
Yeah, the Asari.
Yeah.
So no one can get offended at Shepard sleeping with her, him, whatever.
She has breasts.
Gender fluid.
There you go.
Gender fluid.
Absolutely.
So I went back and I played as FemShep, and FemShep was a bad bitch.
Dude, the FemShep voice actor is like one of the most underrated voice acting
Legit,
jobs.
one of my favorite playthroughs.
So God blessed good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punching the reporter square in the nose when you get back and trying to get a quote of...
What a good game.
Yeah.
What a good game.
That's how I played Mass Effect.
Yeah. But anyway, Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm glad that you've got a chance to play it.
Sarcastic FemShep is best. Yes. Sarcastic FemShep is best.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh.
I killed my horse. I felt bad. I can't give it away because there's a spoiler. So right off the bat, I lost 2 horses, and that was pretty heartbreaking. I had 1 horse from that point on until the end of Arthur's gameplay. So literally to the end of the game, I had 1 horse. I won't talk about it.
Oh, no. See, I went and like wrangled this horse.
Are you in the epilogue yet?
No.
Okay.
No. I've been milking the game.
Yeah. Oh, so did I.
Well,
I just played way too long.
I guess so. It's funny because all my friends have beaten it. And they're like, I literally just got to Saint Denis for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're like, how? And I'm like, well, I just have fun milking every single thing.
That's kind of what I did too.
The moment I got a chance, I went and hunt every legendary animal. I went out and got legendary fish. I went out and like...
For you.
The challenges I think are fun. A lot of people like, and that's the thing about the reviews is most people read. You didn't get the legendary animals? Are you making fun of me?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
I love you for that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just got so addicted. Like when freaking Hosea.
Anytime there's a legendary animal, like I'm walking through. I didn't go out necessarily searching for them, but anytime it goes, you're in legendary animal country. I'm stopping whatever I'm doing.
Sure. There were some ones that were really hard to find. And
I did get the legendary beaver.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually was the last one that I got.
Nice.
Which is funny. Because
legendary beaver. Sorry.
Dirty jokes.
Dirty jokes.
But yeah, Hosea. From the moment that Hosea took me out on that bear hunt, I was so hooked on that idea. And then you get that stupid hat with it's like the bear face. I was like, oh my god! Like,
you totally rock that?
Oh yeah. Right now, my go-to... See, and that's the thing. And I love just how fun it is to buy different outfits and accessorize in that different way. Like, this is so stupid. It's so stupid. But it's so satisfying in this game. you get all these different outfits and you can accessorize different ways. So it's like, I have all the legendary stuff I can get. Right now, I'm actually rocking the bison hat.
Oh, nice.
It's so cool.
So
And I also just found a really awesome ram skull mask.
Ooh, nice.
So I use it to commit crimes.
I've got a couple of cool, unique masks. I do have a Viking helmet. I have the tricorn hat.
Oh, I just got the tricorn
So
too.
for a while, I was a pirate.
And I have the sword, the broken sword.
Yeah, I've got the broken sword. So when I started the game, I started as a Walter White playthrough.
Nice.
Because I want to do the Descent into Madness.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to play really well into the game. And so I did the goatee with the Tribly.
I haven't shaved.
Yeah,
Or got a haircut the
see,
whole time.
see, later in the game, and spoiler alert here, if you've watched this far, we haven't given any spoilers. I think it's
Sure.
okay for a couple. Later in the game, you develop tuberculosis, which I thought was fantastic to my character playthrough. So,
Spoilers to me.
yeah, spoilers to you. Sorry.
No,
I
that's
gave you
okay.
spoilers.
I don't mind.
It's a minor plot point.
That's fine.
So he goes to the doctor and he gets tuberculosis. So for the rest of the game, when you get to Saint Denis, you might notice he's coughing occasionally.
I did notice that.
Yeah, he just go. You drink a shot of gin and he goes, and he didn't do that in the beginning of the game.
I did notice that.
He's getting sick.
And I thought about that. I was like, I honestly was just like, oh, maybe that's from because I spent a bunch of time like in the snow right before
Right.
then, and I was like, wow, did he catch a cold or something from
Right?
the snow?
No, exactly. No, it plays on later in the game.
All right, cool.
But anyway,
After
he
that.
gets tuberculosis, and so I thought my Walter White playthrough was perfect. So I did the shaved on the sides. I didn't do any chops,
yeah.
but I just did the goatee for a while,
Just like
and whatnot. Eventually, your camp moves to somewhere near Saint Denis, and I'm not going to reveal any story there, but you move camps a number of times.
That's
So-
where I'm at. I'm at
Yeah.
the camp that's like right next door to San.
Right, exactly. And during one of those moves, there's a decent amount of time that it feels like rolls by. Like you've been in here for like a month or two. And at that time period, all of a sudden my goatee like shot out in length. And I just let the goatee go, but I kept shaving the chops.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the game, I had a level 9 beard, but no chops. It was clean shaven on the sides. And so it was like Walter White, but he's like, I'm still shaving here, but I'm just going to let this go. And it was amazing. And I rode the Tribly the whole time.
I decided just to not get a haircut or shave my beard just on the off chance that there was an achievement that had to do with not getting a haircut.
With getting 999
Yeah.
on the... Yeah.
Which is so stupid, but I was playing this game fresh off my Spider-Man playthrough.
Oh, and I also did bald, so I shaved my head all the time. Anytime I was in a town with a barber, I went and shaved my head.
Nice. Yeah.
And then anytime I was in camp, I shaved the sides.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to a point where I feel good getting a haircut. I plan on doing it, but I was just like, well, I got to see if there's an achievement.
Yeah.
Stupid, but
Yeah.
But
Once your hair reaches a certain point, you can't grow it any further without
hair
taking
tonic.
hair tonic.
Yeah.
Right, and I reached that point with my beard, started chugging that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on board.
yeah.
What a great game.
Fantastic game.
Yeah, I was addicted. Like I said, I did the legendary animals. Even the challenges I found really intoxicating. And a lot of people are like, well, the last horsemanship challenge has you galloping from one side of the map to the other. Yeah,
no crap. That's
and
why
it
it's
was
called
fun.
the challenge. So
They're like, it breaks the immersion. I'm like, you're in a video game. If you don't know that you're sitting on your couch, I'm sorry. Because there's not been a point in that game where I haven't thought that I was playing a really good video game.
I missed your rants, Rhett. I missed you.
Missed you too.
So I 100%ed Red Dead Redemption 1. Every achievement, every challenge, everything 100% all the way through.
I've been super shamed for this because on the last episode of Game Devs Quest, I revealed that it took me about 30 hours in Red Dead Redemption 2 to realize that John Marston was John Marston from
Of
Red Dead Redemption 1.
right.
And that Dutch Vanderlyn is Dutch Vanderlyn
Of
from
the Dutch Vanderlyn gang!
So, yeah, that took me a long time to figure out. And I was like, oh, it's a prequel. And I said that on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I got so much hate mail like, I thought you liked this game, bro. I was
Yeah.
like, well, I really liked Red Dead Redemption 1.
Hashtag gatekeeping.
Exactly. I couldn't get into Red Dead Redemption 1 because I was so broke. I couldn't afford the game.
Uh-huh.
It took me until the damn game was used at GameStop for $12.99 till I
Yeah.
could play it.
So I bought Red Dead Redemption 1 on release day. And about a week after I bought it, I developed some pretty severe stomach ulcers, and I was out of work for almost 5 weeks. Where I literally could not eat, I could not sleep, I could not drink. Like water would make me vomit. It was a bad time. I lost like 30 pounds. I don't wish that on anyone. It was horrible. It was like mono, but with no appetite.
I'm sorry.
So that was pretty terrible. But I 100% did Red Dead Redemption 1.
That's an impressive feat.
Yeah. So that's my Red Dead Redemption 1 story. I love that game, but it always holds that was a really dark time in my life where I was literally bedridden for a good 3, 4, 5 weeks. So Effin' Dutch indeed. Yeah, he's got a plan. Have a little faith, Arthur. Have a little goddamn faith.
I love him so much.
Wait till his descent into madness.
Excellent.
It gets good.
I
It gets
just love this game so much, and I feel bad that I'm milking it. But all my friends right now, they're like, get on Red Dead Online so we can just like troll people and like.
Screw Red Dead Online. I'm not buying into Red Dead Online. I will not play it because
I haven't had a single player experience like this in so long.
Yeah.
And I just came off of Spider-Man, where I freaking 100%ed Spider-Man.
Yep.
And I love the damn game. I love PAX saying, you know what, I'm going to buy Spider-Man. And I did, and what a fun game. But also, this is the best single-player experience I've had probably since...
Going back a couple of years, probably.
Well, easily. And I want to... It's like, here's the thing. Like, maybe since the first time I played Fallout 4. But even then, like, Fallout 4, like, was good, but I don't even think it's as good as this game.
It wasn't engaging.
No.
There was a lot to do, but it was a lot of work. The voice acting, the storytelling, the immersion, the universe, the voice acting is amazing.
It's so good. It's so good.
If you don't want to bone Sadie Adler by the end of this game, you're fooling yourself.
I was just thinking that earlier. I was like, dude, she easily has the hottest voice in the whole game.
Yep.
And she sounds like she smokes a pack a day and drinks like probably half a fifth of whiskey.
My kind of girl.
But I love Arthur Morgan's voice.
Yep.
Like, and just everything.
Hey there, partner.
The way he says sure. He's like, sure. Sure.
Sure.
He like doesn't have the R almost. It's so weird.
Sure.
Sure. I started saying that to people at work and they're like, what?
You're a good boy.
You're a good boy. Hey there, kitty. That a girl. Oh, you did just fine.
That's a good girl. Oh, man.
I think we tapped into that. I don't even know what the story was, but...
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the PC port.
So, PC leak of Red Dead Redemption 2, dubious or otherwise, we know it's coming. That was the story.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a little addendum to the week that was.
It's great.
So, next week, I don't know if we will have a show or not. Next week is December 26th, day after Christmas. I know John and I have some plans to shoot a couple of videos here. Spoiler alert, both for his channel and for my channel. What? If we're still around at like 7 o'clock, we just turn on the camera and go live. I don't know yet.
The most ambitious crossover event in history.
Oh no, that's for CES.
Yes.
Hashtag spoiler alert.
Yeah, I've been privy to
Hashtag spoiler alert. Most ambitious crossover in history. So,
can't wait for that.
Yeah, I've got some plans for CES. I've got a couple of people on board as well.
That's going to be so fun.
So, I'm looking forward to that. So,
I love Vegas.
If we don't see you the day after Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas or whatever holiday you plan to celebrate this holiday season.
Merry holidays.
We may or may not be on the 26th. To be determined, depending on mine and John's schedule, both on the 26th, and how sober we are by the time we get to 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
But if not, pour one out.
If not, pour one out, or just have one. I don't recommend pouring out any whiskey.
Well, just like a little... Look, here's the thing. I said this once, and so many people argue with me and disagree, but I think it's an adage that I'm going to stand by, that any beer, or drink in this instance, worth spilling is a drink worth having.
That's right. That's exactly right. So we may or may not be on next Wednesday on the 26th. We certainly will be back on January 2nd, and that's going to be a good show because all of us are on social show. That's right. So all 4 of us will be on January 2nd, followed by Rhett and I on January 9th on Wednesday, live from Las Vegas. Vegas. We look forward to seeing you. If we don't see you before then, have a fantastic Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you next time.
Merry holidays, all.
Cheers, all.